And so I'm going to post and say that if you would like to come onto the Zoom call with me where we can all play together, oh, then you can click right in the Zoom link. I'm going to put that where you can click it now. And then maybe you can come and be with me as we go deeper into who and whose you are. I don't know if that will work. You can try if you're on YouTube, and I'll say to you on Facebook, hello, my friend. Group coaching call with me, becoming me, EM. That means I am that I am. I am doing well, thank you. I hope you are doing well too. Nobody has come on yet, so I'll stand with you and give you the card that has now fallen and say the Ascended Masters are at the foundation of kindred partnership. Isn't that beautiful now? And I'll stand by you. The foundation is planning an action. I hope you will come with me for assistance along your journey. We can achieve great things together. It is true. Whew. I needed to drink. And my friend Chantel is here with her kiddos. So once I share that over to Where Misfits Fit, Home for Soulful Seekers, which is a Facebook community that I would encourage you to join as well, where there is great information shared. Awesome. All right, Chantel, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you into the queue. It's true that I am here.
Ice maker?
How you are too, my friend. How are you? You're muted. Still muted. Oh. Ask to unmute is all I can do. In your lower left hand. There. Now you're not. Hello, welcome.
I can't see the screen anymore. I don't know what I just did to not have a camera. Can you see me?
Yes, you look fabulous.
Thank you. I cannot see you. I don't know what happened here.
Well, amazing. Woo! I'm excited. So on YouTube, you can't see, but we have the beautiful Chantel Matheson, who has been helping me with the lawfully organized summits and exercising our rights under Article 61 of the 1215 Magna Carta. So any insights or biggest takeaway from Thursday night session, my friend, while we get your first card out?
Oh boy. I liked the amount that she kind of reassured people, you know, that they're not going to be hauled away by the police.
Yeah.
People needed some reassurance.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So reassurance. So we all want that. And at the bottom of unfoldment is the lily pad, which takes years for it to be able to emerge from underneath. Did you know a cicada bug actually takes 10 years for it to emerge, and then it has like 48-hour lifespan?
10 years.
Yeah, seriously. And the dragonfly takes 5 years before it emerges, and then it also basically is able to reproduce for a very short span, and then it's done too. It's just like, are you kidding? Like,
Wow.
to be able to live on ground for such a short period of time and to suffer for so long in the preparation for that moment, or those
But
series.
do they suffer?
Pardon?
Do they suffer though? Maybe they like being in the ground.
Does anyone like to be buried?
I don't know. Animals live in the ground. Bugs do. I don't know.
Perspective is truly everything.
Yeah.
Got for you the whale for breach and clouds for shape shifting. I don't know what breach is about, other than for a breached baby, or as in something that needs to be adjusted in order to be able to make it through. I don't know specifically with that card. I've never seen whale and breach associated with one another. I know that the whale symbolically represents ancient wisdom and the earth, or the sound of life, and that they're all about frequency and vibration, and that it's incredibly important that they know that they stay true to themselves, because dolphins actually don't automatically have their breath regulated. Did you know that? Like, dolphins they can actually decide not to breathe again.
I did not know. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why they
I knew
can't.
they could go down for a long time before they had to come up, but I didn't know that, yeah, they had the option of just not.
That's why they don't train dolphins with a reward and punishment style, because they found that when they were too cruel to the dolphins decided to just not come up because it wasn't worth it.
Really?
Yeah. So anyway, another interesting fact.
It's kind of like what it's going to be like to emerge here shortly.
Well,
not worth it.
Which is why communion with the eagle of vision is so important. So really getting back in tune with your why. So it's kind of like that analogy that I had shared on one of the calls recently about me at the center, and then we on the outside of that, and then the why on the outside of even that. Or flipping it and making it about me, what we, and then the why at the heart. Because if we can really invert how we're prioritizing things, that can completely change our outcome, because then we're fully focused where we are and why we are. And once we know our why, then we can't just fall for anything.
Yep, that's true.
So, would you like an animal message?
Sure.
Yes. How's Caleb doing in the back there? We are live over on Facebook, just so you know.
Hi.
Eating a wrap?
Yep.
Woohoo! Good for you.
Oh, that's funny.
Healthy. Would you like a this was the jumper for you. Wild boar, Caleb. Whatever tradition or others expect of you, only to yourself be true.
Okay.
The wild boar.
Wild boar.
With the llama at the foundation, letting courage lead you to seek support and overcome a fear of intimacy. And create your vision.
Okay.
So there we are. That's what the cards say for you, my friend.
Well, thank you.
Yes. And that friends are always good for the lion, even though sometimes he feels like he needs to roam the pride alone.
That does happen.
Indeed. Yes. And that's when we listen to our inner wisdom and enjoy the gift of freedom. Ah, Connor. Dad just got the wolf. Do you want a card?
Hello.
Hey, do you want a card?
Okay.
Yes, he does.
No,
Yes, please, Ashley. Sure. Yes, please.
the dolphin says, tune into the rhythm of your breath and find stillness through patience. That's actually changed languaging. I read it different than it was framed, which says, tune into the rhythm of your breath to find stillness and patience. So choose the meaning that fits best for you. And you have the power to transcend failure and move into a limitless future. So fly forth into the night, my friend.
Eating rice.
Eating rice? Woohoo! Good for you, boo. That's excellent. Yes, turn around again and show everyone the stylized design in your hair there. There we go. Look at that. A little flower, guys. The intricate detail of things is cool. All right. Well, I was going to do an animal message for you. Adapt and survive by accepting the inevitable and seizing potential, my friend. So let us detox and jump on to better and higher heights from where we are to where we're going, and seek out deeper knowledge to see through deception as we are doing. And Dolphin is at the foundation. Tune into the rhythm of your breath to find stillness and patience. So, did you have any questions that you wanted to ask?
Not really.
Not really. No. You know, I didn't really promote this as the card counter malicious talk by casting its import from your mind. I didn't really plan this very well, and I didn't advertise it, and I put a price tag on it, but I wasn't really sure about said price tag because ultimately I feel like it's more important for people to gain access to tools than it is for me to get paid for it, though now I've been forced into retirement or no paycheck. So I kind of need to figure something out. But at the same time, it's just like, I just think that there's going to be a lot of information coming out in the coming days.
Yes, there will be.
And when that information comes out, it's just like, I think, well, this war is a silent war. So it doesn't just get announced in a moment. Like, it's better to make it covert and discreet and people not think that it's actually happening. But what is unregarded or discarded holds a secret, a seed to creation. So within the crap, there is gold. We just have to be willing to sift wisely.
That's pretty funny. Is that one called? Is it a dung beetle? What is that one?
Scarab beetle. So it's even more sacred. And
Right.
by the Egyptian standards, it's all about regeneration and life after death. So like the phoenix process.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. That's where we all come from. We all come from the ashes.
Right? We come from the ashes and we don't know who we were before and we don't know who we are yet becoming. And we're in that in-between phase where we're still kind of covered in ash and maybe a little bit wet from the placental experience that we just emerged from. And it's just like the gestation process is really unkind.
Yes, some are worse than others.
Yeah, but it's not a pretty experience, really. But if we know what we're going for, like, did you ever think about the fact that a seed of an oak tree contains the print of the whole tree in fully developed form already there?
Yeah, it's crazy how tiny everything starts.
And yet it has the perfect vision for it. And even us, it's like, how many times did we mess up in our life? How many times did we choose to accrue negative unjustified karma or justified negative karma in the electronic belt of like our energy field of the lower planes that ultimately circulates and keeps us in this recyclical process of reincarnation, compared to when we made positive choices and put those into the causal body, which allows us to then remember our divinity, remember the greatness within. It's just like, how many times did we mess up so seriously? It was like we didn't even like add a crater to the electronic belt, but it's just like we completely side roaded ourselves and put ourselves in great risk. And it's just like, if ever we doubt that we are supported in this life, it's just like, think of everything that you've been through and all the chances that you could have died. And something magnificent actually prevented you from doing so. It's just like you were protected by a divine force so strong you can't even comprehend it. It's
Yes.
just you have to actually ask too, not just in moments of supplication where we finally surrender because it's just like, oh, like I can't clearly do it myself, so fine, just whatever it takes, I'll please. But like if we just learned to surrender more gracefully daily.
Yeah. Yeah. People have a hard time doing that, surrendering.
How do we just give ourselves permission to surrender on the day to day, every day, by bringing it into our practice? That's how. We
Yeah.
just train ourselves like a good warrior. Warriors train themselves daily. It's just like there's a Spartan warrior notion about the more you sweat in practice, the less you'll bleed in war.
Yeah.
So in terms of hypnosis and the radical, it's the rapid transformation therapy, isn't it, that you're certified in?
Yes.
What is the technique around that modality that drew you to it specifically, Chantal?
Well, actually, I started trying to do, the ones that Marissa Peer already had loaded onto YouTube. I was kind of a part of Mind Valley. I really liked doing their free courses that they had, and it led me to her. And I found it really did help doing even those pre-recorded ones. So from the little bit of help that it gave me, I just decided that I needed to know how to do it so that I could help other people, because I know so many people that are so traumatized from their whole life experience pretty much, and I just really want to be able to help them.
Yeah. And you've used it yourself, so you know that it works from personal experience.
Yeah, so many times that the beginning of it's like, okay, just gotta get through the first part.
Don't be the lone lion. Just be part of the tribe. Call your tribe together. So that's exactly it, right? It's just like you had the desire to grow yourself. You knew what it took because you experienced yourself. And then you went to learn the modality. Now you're trained in the modality and you're open to working with people. So if anyone is really interested in doing some rapid transformation therapy and wanted to work with someone who is just stepping into the realm of hypnotherapy, but she's going to be doing a session with me very soon in the coming weeks. So I'll be able to share more with you there. But I do so appreciate you for being willing to show up, Chantal, and for all the time that we've connected and for the value that you bring. So I just say all of that because I'm shamelessly plugging a friend. And I'm also saying it because sometimes we just need that reminder that we have to say it for ourselves in order for it to be true. And sometimes we can allow someone else with good intentions to say it for us and hold that image together for a little while. And so I'm just going to hold the image for all of us to be willing to step into our next step. Because I know Chantal and I have talked a lot about what's coming for both of us and next steps and, what we're doing with everything that we've done to get where we are. And it's just like, no one's going to give us permission to do the thing that we desire to do because they can't see the vision that's in our heart. We brought that with us because we're the ones that have to manifest it. And it's very easy to get trapped in the realm of student. I've been there and have been a certified coach for literally nearing a decade. And I am still not working with clients one-on-one so much, only because I want to do the group things and bring people together and just empower en masse, because I feel like it's not so much about healing all the time. It's about healing and then what? Like let's actually dream the dream together, which is what the series that I've been putting together is about. It's just like rapid transformation therapy was because Marissa was like, I've seen clients for like decades coming in for therapy every week on the couch, paying loads of money, and they're still in the drama, trauma, and pain of that past experience. And so why not just do it in a session? So that's the system that she's created that you're now trained in.
Yes. Yeah. And it does work. It's crazy. It does help you to see where things stem from in your past, how you got all of the habits that you have, the beliefs that you have, about yourself and life. So yeah, been very helpful for me, for sure. It's completely changed everything for me.
And you've been practicing with the hypnotherapy technique for?
Well, I started actually practicing it in, I think, June.
Of last year.
Yeah, I got certified in May, and I've been studying for just over a year.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, we have Earth Magic. Is that the one that I did? I didn't. It feels like I've done these ones. Did we do the Quantum Oracle? No.
I don't know.
We did do Earth Magic first. Chantal.
Yes.
Consciousness of lack is what I need to be clearing. And if I'm drawing this card on this reading, that means that you may too have that same thing, you who is on the other side of this screen. So Chantal, you and me too. So all in view have this consciousness of lack. What would you say about the consciousness of lack, my friend?
Oh, yeah. For me, there definitely was a lack for a very long time. I was completely unaware. And it was quite a rude awakening.
How so?
Just, you realize that everything that you believed is a lie. Everything you believed about yourself and the way that the world functions is a lie.
And then what?
Well, you just start to realize that you're the one who creates everything. You're the one who creates the reality. You're in control.
Can a victim in the consciousness of lack create?
Well, yeah, not usually things that you want to create, though.
So more reactive to recreate what already hasn't worked previously in the present moment. Again,
you keep drawing it to yourself until you've learned the lesson and you do things differently.
Yeah, it's
like what Albert Einstein says, right? To continuously do the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. It's quite insane.
Yeah, absolutely. When I went through my experience, I was very clear in that I may well be cray cray, but I am not insane, which is doing the same thing over again. And I'm doing the very opposite and saying, we cannot have this any longer. I may be different, which by definition is what crazy means, but I am not insane. Please understand the difference. Maybe my way of proclaiming such a thing is not necessarily the way to tone people down so much, but it was a great experience and it completely destroyed my life afterwards for a long time. But it's a year and a half later, the dust has settled, a lot has changed, and ultimately you know who's true and you know who has limits on their love.
Did it destroy it or did it just rebuild itself better?
Well, it was definitely a phoenix experience of the nest catching fire and coming to what was there the whole time underneath of the old, but then got birthed and emerged naked and unsure and terrified and cold and traumatized from the whole thing. Yeah, that was how I felt last year.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, it was pretty shitty. But, I grew a lot from it and I got a lot stronger and I learned that I am Khaleesi and the dragon babies are my dreams and the dreams of humanity and for our freedom. And so instead of having the consciousness of lack, we have courage instead. And we walk fearlessly ahead, not as knights that need a damsel in distress to rescue, but instead as the sovereign beings, the rulers of the kingdom that is you, that is me, that is us. It is moving out of the me into the we to get to the why. And is to understand the why lies on both sides, if only we can say that I will choose. I will choose to be the conscious co-creator and honor the path. I will choose to honor and walk the virtues of this vast universe. And I will allow my spirit to flow like the Milky Way of said water on these beautiful pathways that flow on the card, a timeless and eternal token of kindred partnership where the universe is blessing us to remind us that everything is a sign coming to show us that it is all divine and online until we go offline. And then we say, no, I will not play your game your way anymore. And then they say, oh boy.
Oh, what's that one?
And forth. So do I go? Should I stay or should I go now? Should I stay or should I go now?
Boy. Yeah.
What is he? He's fully balanced. Like, that doesn't look safe. What is safety though? At the end of the day, like, none of us make it safely out of life alive.
No, there is no being safe. There's only being in fear.
Or not. Fear or
I mean,
faith.
like if you're trying to be safe, it's because you're fearful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there is no safe. At some point, you're gonna die, and that's that.
Yeah. It's just, how are we going to live while we're here?
Exactly. Yeah.
We get to decide. And that's why we have to be willing to understand the great prize that comes with following our heart. By being willing to connect with others who are doing their part too. And to be willing to say, sure, I'll get on the call with you, even though you have no idea what to expect. Thank you for coming. I do appreciate you.
No problem. I had nothing going on anyway, so why wouldn't I?
Yes, but you do. Because you've got 2 kids and a husband.
Oh, well.
And
Yes, that's never ending.
right? Like, you've got a life that means you did have a choice. And you
Yeah.
never don't have anything going on.
Well, no, I can always be learning. I really can't stop learning. I am addicted to being a student at the moment. I really love it.
Well, there's a time for accruing the skills, and then there's also a time for practicing those things. And
Yeah.
if you can learn the balance of doing both at the same time, that's when we can truly expand and grow. Like, honestly, working at the grocery store was the greatest gift that I could imagine having been given. Because
Yeah.
before that, I was working at home teaching English to kids in China. And while that was amazing, and it definitely got on my theatrical skills, which kind of like carried on into the grocery store
Yeah.
and everywhere else that I play in this world, but ultimately I couldn't do as much online because of where I was, because I wasn't practicing the skill of connecting with such a diverse audience of people as at a grocery store where everybody comes. Which is the other crazy thing about this whole pandemic, or plandemic, if you want to call it that, because it's like, I worked at a bloody grocery store, like either 4 or 5 days a week since March, and I've not worn a mask at all. And I only wear a glove because the cleaning products that are used on the belts are not good for you.
Yeah. No.
And so I didn't want those touching my hand. And also the stuff that's in the receipt paper, like, there's hormone inhibitor properties in it that come into your skin after 15 seconds. So don't touch the receipts when you're at these big box chains. I don't know what the specific paper is. I don't know for sure whether it was where I was working specifically. I just know that I read that, and then I started wearing the glove for when I was touching the receipt. And then it was just like when I'd see a little child holding the receipt, so excited that the cashier gave it to me. And it's just like, oh.
I know. That's a drop in the hat, man. Like, that's nothing compared to how they're poisoning us in other ways.
But this is the thing. It's just like, I worked without a mask all of that time, and I came into contact with everybody. I came into contact with the frontline personnel that work at the hospitals, at the nursing homes, at the variety stores, everywhere, other grocery stores. I connected with everybody, and like, I'm very healthy because I'm not in fear. And that keeps my immune system high compared to the ones that are fearful and don't necessarily come in contact with as many people, and so therefore don't realize people are not a threat. It's just the control that would make those people feel like a threat when it's going to be at a time of the year when hearts can expand, that they didn't want to give us the opportunity to get close to one another and have our heart fields amplified and overlapped as it was magnified by our togetherness. And subsequently, we were told that it's not safe to get together with family at holiday and festive times of year, just like in the war where they did the same thing to the Jewish people. Like, there is a pattern that is at play. The masks are the Star of David by the Jewish experience of going to the concentration camps. I don't understand why people don't wake up to it. And I also understand that there's a lot that's been happening, and there are a lot of really good people that are behind the scenes that are doing things that they can't reveal because you don't show your cards until, you know, it's time to play them. But it's just like,
Yeah, no, I know. It doesn't make sense. When you think about all of it, it's absolute insanity. It doesn't make any sense, none of it.
well,
You can just go to Walmart and that's okay. Thousands of people come in and out of there every single day, but don't go to your family's house. You may kill them. Like,
well,
what?
that's exactly the point. But do you understand that the bylaw mandating came into effect, see how the light changes, on December 26th, because it's in line with the Sustainability Act or the Agenda 2030, which is in line with Children of Men. The movie was set in 2027, my friends. Like, that movie, humanity have not had a birth in many years, and so when it actually happens, everybody's excited and just completely wondrous because we didn't think we could have babies anymore, because we messed ourselves up so much through all of the adaptations that we put ourselves through by accepting injections that are said to be okay. But did you know that Pfizer was the same company that was used in the concentration camps during World War II?
That is not surprising whatsoever.
It's not surprising, but
Oh, but I did not know that.
yeah, I got a post today that said it was the same, and that completely makes sense that they actually were the company that was doing the testing and the experiments on the ones who were under their care then. And it's just like, dear God, yeah, clear that mirror, man.
It's actually really bad.
It's true, but we all need to clean our own mirror, truly, and really actually start considering the fact that if they shut us down on Boxing Day, the reason that they did that is very obvious, unless you have let the lies deceive you and it's still oblivious, but let me fill you in. Shutting us down on Boxing Day crippled any business owner that was still surviving's ability to recoup their lost income for the last year. Because generally speaking, that's when they make up their money, and it allows them to carry over in the lean months of January, February, while people are paying off the debt that they accrued by trying to keep up and compete and be everything that they think that people want them to be, in order to get through Christmas and then into March. April, you got Easter, it's another holiday. February can help with Valentine's Day and these commercial holidays that were only built in to keep up with the consumeristic culture. But to get back to these small businesses, essentially make this lockdown banning order take effect on the day that would have been their most prosperous, and that everybody's too afraid to actually step in and do anything or to go shopping at these small places, but they can know that they can go to the box office or the box shops and that they're going to have everything that they need, draws the people where they will always stay open, and that they'll change the bylaws when everyone's in the state of confusion that we are, in order to make it mandated masking in said box chains that then become the only option left, because all the small businesses basically got dried up this year or in the next few months, especially as things get worse with the election results. And the fact that, if from all of the stories that I've heard are correct, Trump is going to become the first president of the republic, which is basically where the government gets dissolved and we actually step into being sovereign beings. But then that requires personal responsibility from the people.
Exactly.
We are them. We are
They
them.
they don't want to have responsibility of their own health and their own lives. They want to give over their power to these people because then they can blame it on somebody other than themselves.
Most people do live in that perpetually victim experience of giving our power away and then blaming it on somebody else so that we don't have to take personal responsibility. So yes, and it's just we gotta create a better option, which is why I've been doing the 33 days to dream a new dream together experience. I have also reached out to Alberto Villaldo, so I'm really hoping that I'll be able to interview him soon. I've got his shamanic mystic oracle cards that I oftentimes do readings with, so I'll pull those out next time. This call specifically, I didn't quite know what to expect, but I'm glad that we were able to do this anyway, Chantal, so that you have an opportunity to share your wisdom and to get out there in a bigger way too, because you've got a lot of value to be able to offer this world. And I think that, you know, we just all need a bit more exposure. My grandparents, because I've been back from England for like 5 years now. And so when I first got back, they used to make jokes about somebody that had been married multiple times and that she basically was on a farm with her family. And after one of the divorces, and her husband's kept leaving her a house, so then she'd be able to work through that. And then it was just like, she needs another husband. And basically they kept dying and she'd get a new house. So she got like 3 houses out of these men that passed away, and then she inherited their house. But basically there was a point where she was single in between these husbands, and basically said to her family, I've got to get out of here. Like, I've got to get to the city. I don't have enough exposure here. So they used to make jokes about I didn't have enough exposure being out on the farm, which was true, but it was also perfect because I was gestating and I was I was doing a lot of healing work. It's just like, I'm still kind of, it's just like, I don't even know how to, it's like, I look like a beautiful package, and it's just like, I would be a great partner for the right guy. But it's just like, I don't really know, being so controversial in my way of perceiving things, and to see that everything's a lie, it's just like, I don't know how good of a partner I really am at this point, if I'm really honest.
Oh no, I'm very controversial as well.
You already have a man, so it's easier to be controversial.
I was this bad when he met me. I've been this controversial my whole life. I have never done what I was told to do. I don't listen well to authority. I don't like people telling me what I should think, what I should eat, what I should do, how I should behave. Like, I know what's right and wrong, and I don't need anybody else to help me out with that. You know, like, I know how to treat humans with dignity and respect. You know, like, I know how to be kind to people. I don't need anybody else telling me how to do things. I would never do some of the things that, you know, they say they're trying to protect us from, you know, like, morals, that's it, just morals.
Yeah. It is about morals, and it's about virtues, and it's about getting back to the foundation of what's really important.
Yeah.
So as we move forward, it's an opportunity for us to really become even more accountable to creating that new education system that doesn't place our kids into the hands of territory or of treasonous enemies. And it's not even like, that makes it sound like, whew. And the reality is that it's treasonous officials at the very top that then have to filter down their orders down to the the people of the district, and then to the principals, and then to the teachers who are actually at the front of the classroom doing their very best to give the kids everything they've got while we've got these kids who are in fear so they can't learn as well as they could anyway. And then on top of it, the teacher's stressed so she can't or he can't teach as well as what they could otherwise anyway either. And everybody's operating at a deficit and coming together, trying to be perfect and good enough for each other, and feeling like nothing is good enough because nothing's good enough within our own selves. And it's just like, that's why I'm doing these self-compassion services.
Oh yeah, you have to have compassion for yourself. Like, people are too hard on themselves. But I guess that's because others are hard on them and they just think that they're not good enough.
That's what it has been culturally. And
Yeah.
now it's really a chance for us to just let go of generations worth of trauma, drama, and just get into a state of healing where we are actually able to be radiant like the summer solstice, where we are able to use the sacred geometry and the symbolism of this magnificent universe in order to be more of who and whose we always were. Chantal, any final messages that you wanted to share before we get back? And the ray has shown up again, which is countering malicious talk by casting its import from our mind. So just reminding ourselves, you, me, and all of we who listen, that people will judge us either way. They're going to judge us if we do take action, and they're going to judge us if we don't. So it just is going to really be a matter of who you want to speak to at the end of it, and know that it won't be either of the ones that are judging you. It will be your soul self, your higher self, your I am that was incarnated into the physical vessel that is representative of you in this world. And you're going to have a heart-to-heart conversation between your soul self and your ego self. And the conversation will be around when you were placed on planet Earth. I just literally picked it again. Like shit. There's so much venom and attack. Let's just clear that away. No, thank you. Hard work and inspiration are the foundation of true creativity. And we must abandon compromise and fight valiantly for what we believe in. So yeah, it is time for us to understand that right now there are going to be a lot of people talking. There are going to be a lot of people that are not impressed with what we are doing with these lawfully organized summits, the next one of which is Thursday, January 21st at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So there are a lot of people that are not happy with what we're doing right now, and yet
Quite honestly, I'm past caring.
Pardon?
Like, quite honestly, I'm past caring. When I'm being forced to change my entire life to make others feel like they're safe when there is no such thing as safe, I stop caring about what their opinion is of how I believe I should be allowed to live. We should all be able to have our own opinion, and your own opinion is the only one that matters in the end.
Yeah. Abandon compromise and fight valiantly for what you believe in. And don't be afraid to show your feathers, because sometimes you need to bust out those breast feathers. I want to tell a story. When I was on my way home, I was babysitting neighbors when I was growing up. I was probably maybe I was in my 20s. We still had the trampoline at home, so it might have been before we went to university. So maybe I was like 16, 17. I can't quite remember, but I was walking my neighbors down to my place, my dad's place, and they had a golden, a red golden lab, quite sizable, like good 100 plus pounds, right? And so anyway, the two girls and I are walking down the road, and we're going past neighbors that have 3 big sizable dogs, equal to the dog that we're walking with, and then also German Shepherds, and in a pack. So they're running out at us barking and coming in gang formation at the two girls, myself, and this dog. And I am responsible for all of us in that moment. And it's just like, holy ah! And so instead of freaking out and just kind of trying to protect, I did the insane thing, or I did the crazy thing that worked. But basically, I said to the girls, run! And then so the girls and the dog took off running down the road, and I ran towards these dogs that are running out, barking and ravenous in their desire to get the dog and the girls and myself, but more so probably the dog, and exercise their gang mentality of being superior. And the best part is that I'm now running towards these three vicious seemingly dogs. And the one sees this crazy woman and basically kind of like yelps, and then like turns and averts itself to like go back and watch the madness unfold. And then the other two are still walking, and then I get out there, and then I just go, and I go as big as I can and as loud as I can and go home. And I just told them to go back where they came from, as viciously and just forcefully, and showing I meant it, and keeping on stomping and getting my body big like you do with a bear. And basically the second one kind of faltered and then ran off. And then the third one, I looked him down and I just kind of moved at him, and they're getting into a safe distance away now, which is great. And that dog finally stopped too and turned around, and then they all sat defeated looking out at this crazy mama going back to her little ones. Like that right now is what is being called of us all.
Yes.
Right now is the need. Instead of trying to think about how we can keep the little ones safe when they get to us, it's time to intercept them. It's time to put our foot down and start running to the enemy, and to understand that when the enemy is behind our own doors, that we need to understand treason is committed with a pen, and it's happening right now. And we are seeing the ones that have sold themselves and us out. They're now saying what the rules are, and we need to say no effing way.
Already done.
So that's what we're going to be doing on Thursday, and hope that you can come. So thank you for coming out, Chantel, tonight and getting some cards drawn. I don't know if anyone actually had anything that they were wanting to share. Maybe nobody had any questions? 2 comments. Let's think about how we can keep. Nope, it's just me. All right, well then. Nobody's commented, so nobody wants a reading. So you were the only one, my friend. But the loving man has our back.
Yes, he does.
Woo! And our foundation is true love. So it's all there for us. Woo-hoo! Oh, that's exciting. Oh, yay. Intuition and manifestations. It's time to use the law of attraction to our advantage. We can either look at it as if it is a leave of absence that has been imposed because of circumstances beyond our seeming control, or we can look at it as the way that we manifest the vision that we came here to fulfill. And that is how I'm choosing to look at it. So looking forward to coming to you as the loving woman who is in right relationship with the loving man and has surrendered victim mentality in order to exercise optimism. Yes?
Yep, that's what's needed. You have to give up the victimhood. You have to.
Yeah, which means there's a bit of family bonding that needs to be fixed. So
yeah, definitely.
Loving man's at the foundation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's going to be it. We're going to call it a night. 7:55 first group coaching call, which wasn't really a group coaching call. It ended up being an opportunity to talk about what's real. But I'm grateful to have done it with friends. So thank you, Chantel, for joining in live. Thank you to you who listened, and for us all to go off into this wonderful week ahead. I'm going to let one of these quantum oracle cards be what we let guide us on our way. And since none are jumping out, we're going to go back to true love. Oh, with stuck energy at the foundation? Oh, blocks.
There is a lot of stuckness going on right now.
Oh, can we transmute some of that stuck energy?
I think that those of us who understand are trying.
Trying. I used to say was failing with honor. And now I have been told that trying is in fact very honorable, because if all we have is trying left at the end of the day, then not doing that means we cannot draw the loving man into us. So whoever that energy is, woohoo, true love. What is this? Oh, Chantal, that's very exciting. Oh, and fearful too. Did you know that the body actually processes fear and excitement in the same way?
Yes.
So when you get excited, your body experiences it as absolute terror, because it's just like, what's so exciting?
Yeah, I actually have to tell myself every single time that I'm excited and that I'm not afraid, because it is such it's a similar feeling. The anxiety that I generally experience feels the exact same in my body as excitement does. And it has the same effect on my body because I've stayed in fight or flight for a long time, like probably about 6 years. It does the same type of thing that excitement does. Like I get kind of shaky almost, you know?
Right.
So you have to reason with your mind.
Yeah.
What it is that you are experiencing, and you make it what you want it to be.
Mm-hmm. Powerful creators. We just choose whether we're going to be conscious co-creators or whether we're going to be the victims of a consciously co-created experience we feel victims to, which means that even when we feel the victim, we're still creating the experiences, maybe not all of them, maybe not all of the circumstances. And please, if you have been violated in some way beyond having your rights taken away with the masking or the mandating of other things that come down the line, please don't misunderstand that I'm not saying that you drew that specific experience to you. However, I do believe that all of us have chosen the life circumstances our soul was born into for how it needed to stretch us so that our soul could evolve and become who we truly are. And we really need to just honor the process, I think.
Yeah, I do.
So,
and not think that any of it's wrong or that you're off your path. You can't get off your path. Like Esther Hicks would say, you can't ever get off your path. It's all your path, all of it.
Yeah, exactly. J-O starts the journey, Y finishes it. And the earn is what is in the middle if we don't actually go. So on that note, we're going to go this evening. And so I say huge thank you to you who are on YouTube. I'm just going to exit off of there. And next time, please do contribute. And then you will be able to get a card pull as well. Sending an end of stream order over to YouTube. And now I'm sending one over to Facebook too. Goodbye.